Good evening. I'm your host, Renee Ruth. Welcome back to Sisterhood. Tonight's special is on how women can work together and make history. Nationally, women received the right to vote in 1920 after more than 50 years of working together to do so. The 19th Amendment was ratified on August 26th. Groups of women worked together from 1840 through the early 20th century to prove and accomplish their right to vote. Conventions, book publishings, protests, strikes, and some very important organizations were created, which eventually led to a large step of equality in the United States. Not just one woman could ever accomplish such success. Sisterhood is viable to some of the freedoms women have today. There have been many laws created through the work of groups of mostly women, led by Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, Eleanor Roosevelt, Rosa Parks, and many more. In the past, the work that women did wasn't recognized as important. Women had to be in the home and take care of the children and the house. Throughout history, men fought wars together, built towns together, and fed their families together. But until the 1900s, women weren't allowed to do anything of the sort. Until women fought for their freedoms to make a difference, they realized that they could move mountains. To continue this conversation about sisterhood and how women coming together can accomplish great things, I have a guest. My guest is Colleen Fitzpatrick, a communications professor at St. Mary's. She's a professor at one of the 39 all-women colleges left in the United States, where women are constantly working together to make qualitative changes, big and small. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm just going to ask you some questions about sisterhood. In the early 1900s, do you think that women like Susan B. Anthony or Elizabeth Cady Stanton thought that their hard work would actually pay off?
I think they had to be hopeful, or what else would keep getting them out of bed in the morning and encouraging them to go through such struggles where they would be imprisoned for what they were saying and what they were doing. I think that they were, of course, hopeful that it would happen in their lifetime, but were really looking forward to the greater good and what they could do for all of women looking forward.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think that the suffrage sisters would think today that there could be a woman president?
I think that they would be ecstatic.
Yeah.
I don't think there are really any other words to say than that. It's really such a great stride that we're seeing that we have a viable candidate for office.
Yeah, they were trying to just allow women to vote, and now
exactly.
Women are voting for a woman. Do you think that your early education, like elementary school and middle school and even high school, focused on how important women's rights are?
Yes and no. I think that throughout many of the experiences I've had, I've tried to open that door for myself. So for many of the projects that I did in high school, I tried to bring in women's studies and different elements of that. But by and large, it was very white male focused, as so much of history tends to be colored.
Sure.
Particularly if you're a child of the 70s and 80s, like myself.
Right. Absolutely. Are there any social issues that you have seen accomplished due to sisterhood?
Well, certainly we've seen humongous strides in terms of women's rights, but also I think women have lent so many voices to all of the forward movement we've seen in gay rights.
Absolutely.
And civil rights, although certainly it's been a tough time during the last year or so. The voices are so important and so strong.
Right, absolutely. Regardless of your political opinion, did you ever think that you would actually see a female president, or almost?
I think so, and also the Clinton election, Bill Clinton, was the person I voted in.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
It was very evident from the beginning that Hillary was not really someone who just wanted to sit back and play the role of the traditional first lady. So I don't think I ever questioned that there would someday be a woman president, and I think I've always been confident it would happen in my lifetime, and I certainly hope that, if not now, that Hillary has opened that door wide enough that other women feel that it is an option for them.
Awesome. Have you ever heard of the hashtag repeal the 19th?
I haven't heard of the hashtag per se. I'm guessing I know what it refers to, perhaps something in direct correlation with the other candidate for president.
Do you think anything of that sort could ever happen, actually?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it.
Right.
That it seems very, very, very unlikely.
Yeah. And then one final question. Can you think of any programs or anything from your childhood that you looked forward to as like sisterhood, like any TV shows or anything?
Facts of Life. If you've not seen it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. Fabulous show set at an all-women's high school and followed the adventures of Joe, Natalie, Tootie, and Blair.
Wow.
And, of course, everyone had their Facts of Life girl who they thought they would be. Most likely it was Joe.
Okay.
But, yes, you have to go YouTube that as soon as you're done with class.
I will.
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks for coming. This country wouldn't be the same without acts of brave groups of women, whether it be the right to vote, the right to have a job, or the right to own property. Without unity, the country and the woman in it wouldn't be where it is today. Thank you.